Mars is home and your fire is high. Aim now, or you will burn bridges you still need. When Mars is at home, your drive becomes a sharp instrument. This is the moment to aim with care and refuse to burn bridges. Begin by choosing a single career target for the next 12 to 18 months. Name the role you want, the scope you want to hold, and the income band you intend to reach. Set 3 non-negotiables that protect your life and character, health, family, and ethics. These guardrails let you accelerate without drifting. Next, audit your story with precision. Write 5 concrete wins that carry real results. 3 turnarounds where you shifted a difficult situation to a better outcome. And 2 failures that taught you lessons you now use. Shape these notes into a positioning pitch that lasts about 90 seconds. Open with your core capability, back it with proof, then close with a clear ask or invitation. Practice out loud until the rhythm feels natural. Record yourself, listen, trim filler words, and keep the tone steady and calm. Use this pitch in interviews, stakeholder meetings, and chance introductions so that doors open with less push. Now study your triggers. Many Scorpios react to ego slights, slow bureaucracy, or sideways comments. List the situations that tend to heat you up, then pre-decide your response. Install a 20-minute pause before you answer any message or request that could spark conflict. During that pause, breathe slowly, scan your 12 to 18-month target, and ask which reply moves you closer and which reply only feeds the ego for a moment. Choose the path that serves the target. Build a weekly work cadence that channels force without waste. Each week, select 2 high-leverage actions that change revenue, risk, or reputation. Block real focus time for them and protect those blocks. Define a concrete finish line for each action so you know when it is done. Every day mark a single step that pulls you forward. When you need to push back or negotiate, speak in facts, suggest a small test, and propose a review date. This keeps your image professional and converts Martian fire into steady thrust. Track yourself with a simple metric called the heat score. After any hard meeting or negotiation, rate your internal heat from 0 to 10, where 0 is cool and 10 is boiling. Aim to average 4 or less across the week. If a week spikes higher, check your sleep, movement, and workload. Then drop low priority commitments for the next few days. The goal is not to avoid intensity. The goal is to recover quickly and keep the signal clear. Over weeks, you will notice cleaner focus, tighter language, faster decisions, and warmer allies. That is the signature of Mars used like a laser. You aim at what matters, you advance without drama, and you leave every bridge intact for the road ahead. Clean power moves mean you win through precision, not volume. Begin by selecting 2 or 3 projects that truly move the needle on revenue, risk, or reputation. For each project, write a 1-page brief that names the target key metric, the accountable owner, a real deadline, and any political risk that could slow or sink progress. This forces clarity before action and turns heat into direction. Next, map the decision path. Identify who signs, who blocks, and who quietly influences. Plan the sequence in advance. Start with 1-to-1. Conversations to surface concerns and secure early alignment. Then propose a small pilot that proves value with minimal exposure. Then share a public update once evidence is in hand. Precision is not secrecy. It is preparation that removes drama before it starts. Negotiate scope with clear edges so everyone knows what yes actually includes. State the deliverables in plain language. Define success in measurable terms. Set a review rhythm that fits the pace of the work. And agree on a stop-loss rule so you can pause without blame if reality diverges from plan. When proposing the pilot, speak like this. To reduce risk, we will run a 4-week pilot with the agreed metric. If results underperform by more than 10%, we pause, adjust, and decide to continue or cut. That wording protects trust because it ties decisions to evidence rather than ego. It also prevents endless scope creep because the edges are visible to all. Keep communication tight and forward. Replace long status reports with brief, factual notes that say what was attempted, what happened, what is next, and what help is needed. Give credit before you ask for resources so allies feel seen. When a blocker appears, return to the decision map and choose the smallest step that moves you around or through the obstacle. Precision is the art of smaller steps taken faster and measured sooner. Track progress with 2 simple metrics. First, the share of milestones hit on time across your active projects. Second, the number of escalation emails you avoided because you solve issues at the right level and time. If the milestone rate dips, narrow your project list or shrink scope until momentum returns. If escalations rise, you are skipping 1-to-1 alignment or proposing work without a pilot. Over a quarter, these habits create a reputation for clean execution. People will bring you larger problems because you solve them without noise. And your path up will be paved by results rather than arguments. Means you rise in scope and influence while relationships get stronger, not thinner. Start by drawing a simple stakeholder grid. List names under allies, neutrals, and skeptics. For each skeptic, define what safety means to them in 3 plain dimensions. Time. How much predictability do they need in calendars and handoffs? Credit. How and where do they want recognition to show up? Budget. What guardrails protect their resources? Write 1 sentence for each so you can meet them where they live. Then plan your touch points accordingly. A skeptic who craves predictability gets early drafts and calendar invites 2 weeks out. One who fears loss of credit hears you name their role first in every room. One who is budget sensitive receives a crisp pilot plan with a capped spend and a stop rule. Adopt credit forward as your default posture. In emails, updates, and meetings, name partners' contributions before you make your ask. Thank the analytics team for the quick cohort cut, then request the next slice. Acknowledge the sales lead who opened doors. Then propose a joint customer pilot. Credit forward lowers the drawbridge. People lean in because they feel seen. It also gives you quiet leverage. When you are generous first, your asks carry less friction. Turn friction into choreography with a name mirror make sequence. Name the issue in 1 sentence, anchored in facts. Mirror their concern in 1 sentence to prove you heard it. Make a small 7-day test that preserves their safety while moving the work forward. Use clean language. I hear timeline risk worries you. Let us test with 2 clients this week. If the customer score falls below 8, we revert and reassess. Delivered calmly, this turns a tug of war into partnered steps. You advance without forcing, and your counterpart keeps pace. Keep a small book of favors and follow through. Send a summary note after joint wins that lists who did what. Offer one helpful introduction a week across teams. Share templates and playbooks without being asked. These micro deposits build an account of trust you can draw on when you need speed or forgiveness. Measure allyship the way executives do. Referenceability. How many colleagues would endorse you right now for a bigger role or a critical project? Write down the number and set a target to add 2 each quarter. Track who moved from neutral to ally and what action tipped them. If a relationship stalls, check your safety map and your credit forward cadence. Are you giving them time, credit, and budget guardrails? Did you mirror their concern before you pushed your ask? Keep outputs visible and kind. Over a few cycles, your reputation becomes clear. You raise standards, you protect people, and you leave every bridge stronger than you found it. When Mars is at home, the fuel is strong, and it needs a clean channel. Sharpen your blade, build a simple process, and protect the engine that carries you. Think in 3 tracks that run together every week: skill, system, and stamina. Skill comes first. Pick one technical edge you will sharpen, and one leadership edge you will grow. Write them in one short line each. For example, pricing analytics and conflict coaching. Block 90 minutes of deep work, 3 times per week for 12 weeks. Treat these blocks as meetings with your future self. Shut doors, silence notifications, and keep only the single artifact you will move: a model, a deck, a training plan. Begin each block with a 2-minute recap of where you stopped. Finish with a 2-minute note on what is next. The aim is not speed, the aim is compounding. System is the board that keeps you honest. Create a simple control board on 1 page. List your North Star goals, your pipeline of active work, and your current blockers. Every week, hold a 30-minute review with yourself. Mark 1 item to advance, 1 item to cut, and 1 blocker to clear. Practice the art of killing low-return work. If a task does not move revenue, risk, or reputation in the next quarter, park it. If it belongs to someone else, hand it off. If it will never matter, delete it. Simplicity is your ally. Fewer lanes, more flow. Stamina is the channel that keeps the current steady. Protect your peak hours like equity. Put creative or strategic work in the window when your mind is brightest, and move meetings out of that window. Batch similar decisions into 1 or 2 daily clusters so you do not bleed attention all day. Install a no after 8:30 p.m. rule at least 5 nights each week. Use the evening for winding down, for relationships, and for sleep. Good rest is not a luxury, it is performance infrastructure. Measure the stack so you know it is working. Track time in deep work, aim for at least 4.5 hours per week. Track tasks killed versus tasks added. Aim for a kill ratio of 1 or higher, so focus improves over time. Give yourself an energy score every Friday evening from 0 to 10. If the score trends down, lighten the next week by cutting 1 project, or by shortening meeting blocks, or by adding a recovery session such as a walk or a workout. If deep work time slips, move your blocks to an earlier hour and protect them with calendar holds and a short out-of-office note. Over a month or 2, you will feel the click. Skills sharpen in visible increments. Your board gets cleaner, and your weeks carry a calmer force. People will sense it. Your language tightens, your pace steadies, and your output compacts into things that move the business. Mars has a channel, the wheel turns without smoke, and you rise with less drag. Start with a promotion path that speaks your boss's language. Translate your impact into the metrics they defend in every review. Revenue lifted, risk reduced, cost avoided, quality raised, cycle time shortened. Build a one-page dossier that links each outcome to proof, client quotes, dashboards, or before and after snapshots. Pre-align with 2 cross-functional sponsors who benefit when you rise. One should sit close to the customer, the other near finance or operations. Share your dossier, ask what is missing, and invite them to sanity check a 90-day scope expansions you can execute now. When ready, propose it to your manager as a test that earns the title and compensation change on delivery. Speak plainly. I am proposing a 90-day scope expansion tied to KPIX and KPIY. If delivered, we formalize the title and compensation band in Q2. This removes drama because it anchors ambition to evidence and time. Keep an external option warm without broadcasting. Maintain an updated case deck with 3 crisp stories that show your range. Keep 3 references current and brief them once a quarter so they can speak to recent wins. Schedule 2 informational conversations each month with leaders in adjacent firms or lanes. Focus on learning and mutual value, not desperate pitch. Share a useful template or data point after each chat. This quiet runway gives you leverage without noise. If the internal path stalls, you can move with confidence. If internal momentum is strong, your outside network still grows. Think about legacy early and often. Write playbooks for the systems you built, so others can run them without you. Mentor a successor to take over parts of your scope. Hand off cleanly before you step up or step out. Close loops in writing and make it easy for the next person to look good. Thank people publicly when you win. A short note that names what they did and why it mattered is a deposit in the bank of goodwill. Reputation compounds fastest when your exits are graceful. Operationalize these moves with a simple cadence. Every Friday, update your dossier with 1 line per outcome, advanced that week. Every month, ask your 2 sponsors for 5 minutes of feedback on the 90-day plan and adjust. Every quarter, refresh the case deck and references and log 2 new external relationships. Block 90 minutes to draft or update 1 playbook and to schedule 1 mentoring session with your successor. Keep the drumbeat light but regular so progress is visible and reversible. Measure what matters. Track offer, surface area, which is the count of meaningful internal and external opportunities per quarter. Roles expanded, projects offered, interviews invited. Aim to widen this surface area by steady increments. Track a goodwill index, which is the response rate and warmth of replies to your written thank you notes. If offers stagnate or gratitude replies thin, adjust inputs. Strengthen the dossier with harder proof, deepen sponsor alignment, share more value in your external chats, or increase the frequency of clean handoffs and public credit. The principle is simple. Make it easy for people to say yes to your next step. Tie your ask to metrics. Give leaders a safe pilot. Keep another path quietly warm. Leave assets behind and honor the hands that helped you. You rise with calm pressure. Doors stay open behind you. And the rooms you leave keep working better because you were there. Scorpio at 45 plus, with Mars back home, calls for sharp, calm action. Set one clear target, build a small set of clean power moves, and channel intensity through skill, system, and stamina. Win by precision, not volume. Grow without scorched earth by crediting partners, testing in small pilots, and keeping every bridge intact. Document impact, keep an outside runway warm, mentor a successor, and hand off well. This is surgical ambition. Choose the hill, map the power, pilot cleanly, protect allies, and leave every room better than you found it.